Thank you, thank you, thank you. A lot of you own Grand Seiko, and you've been sending me some information about the scratching. That high polish is a scratch magnet. Some of you, one of you sent me some photos of the scratch on your bracelet. Don, thank you. Don told me that if I get a Grand Seiko, just pretty much resign yourself to knowing you're going to have to buy a new bracelet about every 5 years. So the wonders of luxury watch ownership, the wonders. I still love that quartz Seiko. So here's what I want to talk about today. When you need to know when to know it's time to say goodbye to your watch hobby. You have to say goodbye to it when you're no longer growing, when you're relapsing, when you're going backwards. The whole thing about having a nice, healthy hobby, whatever it may be, is you need to move forward. I got bit by the watch disease about 13 years ago, and there's a lot of things I like about it. I like learning about watches. I mean, if you learn in-depth knowledge about anything, it just becomes interesting. I mean, if you learn about the early days of Jimi Hendrix, it's fascinating. I'm not a Jimi Hendrix specialist. If you learn about the transition from hunters and gatherers to agricultural period, you know, it's fascinating. I'm not an anthropologist. I'm just some watch hobbyist. I like that. I like sharing my battle stories with other watch obsessives. I like sharing watch stories and sharing advice with other watch obsessives. I've enjoyed that over the years. Here's some things I do not enjoy about my watch obsession. I do not enjoy regretting selling a watch, rebuying it, buying it again. I don't like going in circles. I hate that. I don't like it when I let my collection take over my thoughts too much and I take it too seriously and I get miserable. I like to keep some perspective. I think you need to be a man. I think you just need to know there's certain dilemmas in watch collecting. One dilemma I want to talk about on a completely separate video because it needs its own, it requires too much time. I want to talk about the luxury watch dilemma. And there really is no perfect answer for that. I'll talk about that in the next couple days, I think. Some other things I don't like about my watch obsession is I got caught up in the mid-tier watch rut, where it's kind of like a slow death. You just buy a bunch of mid-tier watches and you accumulate a bunch of watches, you know which watch to wear, and then you sell them and then you accumulate them again. And I just don't think we can leave our collections alone. You know, Pascal, the French philosopher, said that we are doomed to be miserable because we can't stay quiet in our room. We just have to always tamper with stuff. You know, you already have a good collection, but you gotta tamper with it, man. You gotta mess around with it. So those are some things I don't like about the watch collection. Some recent changes in my watch collecting. Here's some recent changes. I've noticed I'm not into the big dials anymore, the big cases. I don't know, that whole notion of being the big apex predator on campus, the big man, the big dude, doesn't appeal to me anymore. I think I was just a fat dude wearing big watches and hiding my fatness behind a big watch, thinking I was the big brawny dude. Dude, you were fat. I'm sure it's deeper than that. I just think I'm getting older. And I'm not into the whole braggadocio and bluster of a wristwatch. That doesn't appeal to me. I have no tolerance anymore for having large collections. Seems like I could have 7 tops. Even that might drive me crazy. Seems like 3 or 4 is more appealing these days. And kind of done with diver watches. Not because I don't like divers. I love diver watches, but I got a lot. I got 6 watches in my collection now, and 5 of them are divers. So I've been drawn to the Grand Seiko lately. Honestly, I need to do a video about how I like to sell everything. Just get a Grand Seiko and a Tudor black base steel. End the discussion. Seems like life would be simple, but that would pose some dilemmas, I think. Anything else I don't like about the collection? Oh, I don't think so. I think if I find myself going back to mid-tier land, I would just quit the collection. If I found myself accumulating a bunch of watches again, I'd have to quit. I will tell you this though, here's another change. I don't get excited anymore when Seiko has a new $500 watch out. I know, for example, they have a lot of limited editions, this, that, and the other thing, of turtles. They have every turtle you could imagine, limited this, limited that. It costs $500, $600, $700, $800. I feel nothing, and I'm glad I feel nothing. I seem to be drawn more to the upper tier watches. Well, and that's not a surprise, because the more you learn about watches, the more you're going to be drawn to some of the upper tier watches. So I've wasted over $10,000 on cheap fashion watches, and if I contemplate some of the nice luxury timepieces I could have bought without wasted money, I'd probably go into a coma. A lot of you said, don't worry about it, McMahon. I mean, we all learn, man. It's part of the journey, man. You know what? Hippie cliches don't work for me. So, no, I'm kidding. It's fine. It's all part of the journey. So, yeah, I wasted some money there. And if I ever found myself buying mid-tier watches again, I'd just quit. I'd quit. I don't know what this channel would deal with, this philosophy or something. Probably get 14 subscribers at that point. So I think my next video is going to be the dilemma of luxury watches. Should you get 3 luxury watches, or 2 or 3, or keep the 6 mid-tiers that you have, the 8 mid-tiers that you have? And what I want to explore when I make that video is that there really is no perfect answer. There's pros and cons for each answer. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think. Until next time, I'm out.